Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Shreyashi and I am a software engineer by profession and I like to make videos on skincare, travel, lifestyle and food. Well, I have decided to share with you 5 books that have actually genuinely changed my life for good. There have been so many different things that I've been able to learn from these 5 books that it's mind-boggling because books can teach you so much. I'm going to be making a series of videos in which I'll be sharing 5 of these non-fiction books that have helped me immensely to grow as a person, to change my perspectives in life, and just to be a better human being. And it has also imparted me with so much of wisdom and knowledge. Not sure about the wisdom part yet, but yes, a lot of knowledge as well. First, initially I thought of like incorporating all of these lessons from these books in one video, but I realized that there is so much to be learned from each of these books that I just can't do it in one single video, otherwise it will be like hour, 2 hour long video. So we'll just start short and let's get right into it. So the first book of the series is one of my most favorite book, which it was recently published in the year 2020, and it's Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. I genuinely feel that this book is a Bible in the money aspect, in your finance aspect. This is a book that everyone should read, everyone should have, and this is one of those books, even if you're not a reader, you should get your hands on it and read it. Because see, there are a lot of financial books, finance related books in the market. There are books which will give you a lot of financial wisdom, which will teach you on how to invest, where to invest, how you should be starting out, how you should be thinking about money and all of that stuff. But this actually delves deep into the psychology of a human regarding money. I wasn't taught about how to invest my money. Of course, there was a lot of emphasis on saving the money. But you know, saving your money, keeping it in your bank account and not investing it, it's the same as losing out on the money, right? Because of the inflation rates that are there in the market. So I think this book has really helped me understand the psychology that I had regarding money and how I can improve upon it. It talks about what is happiness, does money really bring you happiness, how people in their greed can actually turn from being amazing people, amazing kind of wealth generators to being absolutely poor. It has all those things covered, and here are my lessons that I've learned from this particular book. The first lesson that I learned from this book is that everyone has different attitude towards money. You know, I have a different attitude towards money. My parents' generation has a different attitude towards money. Sibling has a different attitude. Even my friends will have different attitudes. No two people think the same way about money. No two people approach money with a same intention and same attitude in life. Because, you know, my parents' generation, they don't really believe in investing in mutual funds, and they don't really believe in investing in a lot of stock market. They do believe in playing it safe, investing in fixed deposits or investing in bank, post office deposits and all. Whereas on the other hand, I can consider myself as more of a risk taker. I will, of course, not put all my eggs in one basket, but I will try and see that I can go ahead and invest in mutual funds or real estate or debt mutual funds and stock market everywhere, right? And even like crypto being the latest trend in the market. So this book tells you that if you are thinking that you can move ahead with the same trajectory that anybody else had in terms of money, then you are wrong. You should carve your own path. You should see what suits you, what are your beliefs, and then accordingly move ahead. Second important lesson is that don't underestimate luck, right? Hard work, grit, persistence, perseverance, determination, everything is important to succeed in life. But luck also plays a role, whether it be just 10% of what you've achieved, but it does play a role. Morgan in his book tells this via an example. He says that Bill Gates, of course, created this immense empire uh, called Microsoft. He brought in so many different products. Of course, we can attribute this to his hard work, his determination, his passion towards computers. But what led to that passion, right? He was one of those few boys in his town to be able to go to a high school which had a computer in his times. So to be able to get that opportunity is luck. It's not hard work, it's not passion, because if he wouldn't have been introduced to computers, we don't really think that Microsoft would have been here in this world, right? So definitely attribute this towards his luck. And if you feel that following Warren Buffett or following Bill Gates, their investments, seeing how they created their wealth, we can follow the same trajectory. Not everybody is as lucky. The third lesson that I learned is the magic of compounding, the power of compounding. Every financial book you pick up, you will know that what compounding can do to your wealth. Of course, you have to be in it for the longer run. Morgan explains this with the example of Warren Buffett. So currently Warren Buffett is worth $106 billion. He's a billionaire. He's one of the richest men in the world. He has actually amassed $81 billion post he turned 50. He's 93 now. If I'm not wrong, he's 93 now, and when he turned 50, that is when he amassed $81 billion. That is 100 out of $106 billion that he currently possesses. 81 is what he got after he turned 50. That is because he started investing at the age of 11, and he started paying his taxes at the age of 13. So when you start that young, at the age of 50, he was owning a wealth of $81 billion. That is the magic of compounding. And by compounding, you don't really have to think that today you're going to invest in some stocks and maybe 15 days later you become a millionaire. You can become a millionaire, but that's again luck, right? But if you're in it for the longer run, then you can definitely see a lot of generation of wealth. So power of compounding just surpasses everything in wealth generation. The other thing is that save as much as you can. And Morgan in his book gives a really good explanation of this. He says that usually what we think is savings is equal to income minus expenditure. But what it actually is savings is equal to income minus your ego. So your expenses are actually in the modern day society based out of your ego. You want to show something to someone. You want to buy something because you want to be able to show it off, right? It's your ego that is actually making you do all those expenses. So what he really tries to say is that it should not be that case. What you are saving should be something that can help you in the future, can help you in the longer run. Everyone should have goals with money. You're saving for a house, you're saving for a car, you're saving for an international trip, whatever it is. But even those days when you don't have goals in your life related to money, you should be saving. And saving is the only thing that can help you buy freedom. So that brings on to my next lesson, is that earn money and save money to buy freedom. What is the point in working for money, right? He says that if you are just working for the fact that you are working for money, it's not going to buy you freedom. If you have enough money that one day you wake up and you say, I can do whatever I want to do today because I have enough money to support the lifestyle that I've created. A lot of people create their lifestyles according to the money they start earning. So if you're earning, say, 100,000 rupees in 1 year, and the next year you're earning 200,000 rupees, instead of you seeing that you're saving a lot in this and you're sustaining the same lifestyle, instead of saving a lot, you're going to increase your expenses because now you have more money to spend. So rather than doing that, what Morgan states is that you should be working on saving money to buy freedom. You should be working on having enough financial freedom that you are able to sustain yourself even when you don't have work and even when you want to do something on your own. That is how you should be looking at money, that money should buy you freedom and not things, because actual happiness comes from the freedom that you get from money and not by the material things that you have or you buy from money, not from that car or house or bag or anything else. Next lesson that I've learned is that getting wealthy is different from staying wealthy. It's very easy in this day and age to be able to get wealthy quicker, to be able to earn the wealth, to be able to get rich. But to stay wealthy is something that is really, really difficult, because when you have that wealth, you don't really understand how are you going to save that wealth, how are you going to let or invest that wealth, how are you going to let your money work for yourself, how are you going to basically increase that wealth. With the wealth that you have, you need to increase the same wealth without you working for it, rather than let your money work for it. And that is when investment and power of compounding comes in play. You cannot just be like that you have suddenly gotten a lottery and you're going to spend all of your money into buying things and maybe keeping it in your bank account so that when the inflation rate goes up, your money has lesser worth and lesser value. So rather than doing that, in order to stay wealthy, getting wealthy and then staying wealthy is really important. And that is what this book helps us understand, that you need to find out the right tools to be able to, expand the wealth that you have and not let it get depreciated. Another lesson that I've learned from this book is that in one of the chapters, Morgan writes to his son and he says that you might think you want an expensive car, a fancy watch and a huge house. But I'm telling you, you don't. What you want is respect and admiration from other people, and you think having expensive stuff will bring it. It almost never does, especially from the people you want to respect and admire you. So what Morgan is really trying to say is that a lot of times, majority of times, when we say that we want to buy a big house, when we want to buy a big car, when we want to buy something, it's mostly to earn admiration and respect from the people. But what we fail to understand is that people are not admiring you or respecting you because of all the things that you have. They are basically admiring and respecting the possession that you possess. The house that you have, they're admiring that. The car that you have, they are admiring that. So instead of trying to prove it to people or trying to gain respect from people by buying things, buying expensive stuff, you should rather be focusing on having that wealth. Wealth is not equal to what you have bought it with. Wealth is what you really have, right? If you have spent money on buying certain stuff, which has, again, you have that material possession, but your money is gone, correct? So that is not wealth. That is not the judgment of wealth. Wealth is what you really have in your account, what you really have in your investments, what you really have currently to be considered wealthy. And the last lesson that I learned from this book is that you should be avoiding extreme financial commitments. Sometimes we feel that, okay, this is our plan, this is our next 2 years plan, this is our next 5 years plan. Maybe if I don't really, for example, you think that maybe if we don't really have kids, we don't really have to save on their college tuition, on their school tuition, on their medical expenses. So maybe we can just kind of spend this money rather than keeping it or saving it. But that is an extreme financial commitment that you're making, because you never know what is going to happen in the future. You can never predict future. So please avoid extreme financial commitments. These were the few lessons that I learned from this book, and the book has so many things to teach you. I would highly, highly recommend you to read this book. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be coming back with 4 more videos like this, where I will be sharing lessons with you on the books that I've absolutely loved and have changed my life. Until then, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you very, very, very soon. Bye-bye.